वन्दे देवमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं वन्दे पशूनां पतिं वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवह्निनयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करम्. So today we begin a very beautiful traditional text known as Sri-daksinamurti-Srotram. It is a text which has been attributed to Adi Shankaracharya. And before the beginning of the text, we have a few what we call dhyanam, what is written there as dhyanam or dhyana shlokas. So contemplative verses. When we are to study, we always have begin with some invocatory prayers. In these invocations, you have your visualization of the divine and you seek blessings from the Lord in a specific form, and then you begin your learning. Here, for this Dakshinamurti-Srotram, for this text that we have chosen, we have here not one verse as dhyanam, a contemplative verse. We are going to see 6 contemplative verses. All right. The whole text is only 10 verses, which is going to follow. But for that, we have 6 contemplative verses. So here, let us look at a few things. Number 1, it was very important for me to move into Dakshinamurti-Srotram after completion of our 7 to 8 different stotrams that we have been seeing since March. And I found every set of prayers that we learned to pray to the Lord in different powers, in different functioning, seeking blessings for different aspects of life that we face, yeah. So we need him as a doctor, therefore Vaidyanatha Ashtakam. We need him as a friend, and so Marga Bandhu Stotram. We need him in a form where we can visualize him, and so we had Shiva Manasa Puja. Different verses we did, different forms of prayers to Lord Shiva in different roles, different invocations. And as we moved along, elaborating each one, we found there was so much. So each of these was so rich with episodes and mythology and the cultural nuances and tremendous insights we got regarding the forms of worship, regarding whether the worship is physical or mental or recitational. Why is it the way it is? What are these different wonderful heritage expressions that we carry in this culture, well, we went into quite a elaborate detailing over the past 4-5 months now. It is only apt then that there is one beautiful stotram, I told you, where the Lord is Himself the Guru, where the Lord reveals Himself. This is called self-introduction, He introduces Himself as the original Guru. Never say you don't have a Guru. Always say, if you don't have a human Guru, always remember the Divine is your original Guru. So here in this beautiful set of verses we have Lord Shiva Himself as a Guru. Lord Shiva Himself is our Guru. And so I would like to introduce this topic to you. Whenever we talk about a stotram, the text is titled as Dakshinamurti-Srotram. Shlokam means a couplet. Alright, 2 lines makes a shlokam. Stotram refers to a set of shlokams, a set of couplets. So there is a series of verses when they are stringed together that becomes a stotram. Alright? And it refers to stuti. Stotram means stuti. Stuti means praise. So it is whenever you do a prayer is always in praise of the Lord, is it not? It's always in praise of the Lord. Maybe some of our prayers are only begging because we see ourselves as beggars, and so Lord becomes a provider, and so you keep begging. You have a big list of things to beg and get delivered. He is a delivery boy. The Divine becomes the delivery boy who has to deliver all that you beg Him for. So that's one type of prayer. Appealing, artha bhakta, appealing in distress. When you're in distress, then you seek His blessings. But Dakshinamurti-Srotram is a set of prayers. There are 2 things here. Very unique it is. What is unique is, it is a set of verses which are in praise of the Lord. In praise of the Lord. When it is in praise of the Lord, why do you praise the Divine? Simply glorifying and praising the Divine is for me to get His blessings. Divinity's blessings means what? Divinity's blessings means cleansing of our impurities in our life. Ammaji, cleansing is very easy. I just go under the shower and I am cleansed. No. We are not talking about physical impurities. We are talking about karmic impurities. Karmic impurities are impurities that we pick up every day of our life. With wrong thinking, with distorted thinking, with operating from ego, with our greed, with our jealousies, with our competitions, is nothing but solidified impurity. Understand? Our thought system moves with these impurities. What is an impurity? It is something that you cannot live with, correct? You cannot stand it, you cannot live with. You want to get rid of it. Is greed something you can live with? Is jealousy something you can live with? Is desire something you can live with? Yes, Ammaji, I have all these desires. Question is, do you get sleep? When your heart is filled with desires and greed and jealousy, are you at peace? We lose our peace. The thought patterns which make you lose your sleep, those thoughts are called impure thoughts. And therefore, these impurities, we want them to go. Today I have it, tomorrow when I wake up, I don't want to feel the way I felt today. All right, what are you going to do about it? How will you cleanse? Which soap you will use, which shampoo will you use to remove these impurities that are sitting in the thought system? And here we understand the importance of prayer, the importance of seeking help. Because even though I am carrying it, I don't seem to have the capacity to drop my greed, to drop my jealousies, to drop my sadness, to drop my depression. I don't seem to have the capacity, and therefore I seek external help from somebody who can grace me, who can give me blessings to release me from this. And therefore, praise to the Lord is seeking, invoking Him, invoking His grace so that His blessings on me will help me. I will discover peace, I will discover comfort, knowing that I am being looked after. Knowing that I am being looked after. And therefore, Stotram is meant for, the Stotram when you say, all this time we have done different Stotrams. And each of them were praise of the divine to seek His blessings, to make ourselves more and more prayerful, more and more trusting, more and more being comforted. And it's amazing, I may say all this here in the class, but I do know, and you know, those who have stayed with me over these months, you know what a difference it has made for you during such challenging months that humanity has been facing. So what does that mean? That means already the comfort is with you. The blessings are with you. And so this set of verses that we are going to be learning, it has a great value in recitation. In Sanskritam we say Parayanam. In this culture we have many verses which are just used for recitation purposes. They are prayers. People don't even understand what they pray. I know women who will daily recite Sundarakandam, of Ramayana. Valmiki, they daily recite. Ask them what it means, they don't know one word. They don't know any meaning. But the recitation itself, they will vouch for, they'll champion for the recitation. So this particular culture, it's a cultural thing. And so Dakshinamurti-Srotram is used for recitation purposes. Okay? And it becomes a prayer, which is very unique to Dakshinamurti. It is unlike, when we study Lord is Guru, means you're going to get the highest knowledge in this. Self-knowledge is going to be taught here. But you never recite Tattva Bodha. You don't recite Atma Bodha. You don't recite Viveka Chudamani. These are classical Vedantic texts. Everybody studies Viveka Chudamani. People study these wonderful Panchadashi. There are great texts written. You don't recite them. Why not? They also have shloka. But they don't have the value that Dakshinamurti has. Understand? This set of verses is not only for unfolding of the self-knowledge, but it is also a prayer because Lord Shiva himself is the Guru here. And so here we say, he is called, the Lord is called here Adi Guru. Adi Guru. Adi means the original Guru. The most authentic Guru is Lord himself. He is the Guru and he is the first Guru. Who is a first Guru? Can I say, my Guru is the first Guru?
Mother.
The first Guru should be one who is not a disciple of another Guru. Was your mother the original mother? She came as Immaculate Conception. So, if there was Immaculate Conception, if my Guru didn't have another Guru, he would be the first Guru. But when you look at this, every Guru has been a disciple of another Guru. And what about that Guru? He became a disciple of his Guru. Who was a disciple of his Guru? Who was a disciple of his Guru? And you keep going. Why his Guru? He was a disciple of her Guru. And she was a disciple of her Guru. And so you find this his, her goes on and on and on. Until where? Where are we going to stop this? Tracing the original Guru. The original Guru, the day you trace for me which came first, chick or egg, that day I will tell you who is the original Guru. You understand? If there is an original Guru, that Guru should be one who never had to be a disciple of another Guru. Understand? He never needed to be a disciple of another Guru. How is that possible? That is possible if his starting point was not in ignorance. For all of us, our starting point has been in ignorance. And so the Guru's role is to help you shed the ignorance. And how did the Guru get the knowledge? Well, when he was ignorant, his Guru came to shed his ignorance. And so the starting point of every Guru has been a Shishya, a disciple. He has been a disciple because he had ignorance. So who would be the original Guru? Original Guru is that Guru who never needed to be a disciple of another Guru. Why? Because he did not begin with ignorance. Means what? He is a manifestation of omniscience. The original Guru is a Guru who has ever been with knowledge. Ignorance never veiled his knowledge. Ignorance has two powers. We are going to see this later. One is a power to veil and second is a power to project. Ignorance covers and it projects differently. You will see this later. But here in our Adi Guru, there is no veiling of the knowledge. He is nothing but omniscience. Hence he is called Adi Guru, the first Guru. And what does he do? He hands over the teaching. he gives this self-knowledge. Whom does he give this self-knowledge to? To, of course, disciples. To those who are capable of receiving this self-knowledge. And therefore we have a very, very important word in this tradition, and it is called, the word is sampradaya. Sampradaya means tradition. The initiator of the tradition, the one who started this tradition, is called sampradaya karta. I will give you these two words in the WhatsApp group later. Sampradaya karta. The Lord is, the omniscient being, is the one who began this tradition. What tradition? The tradition of the teacher teaching and the disciple receiving. Once the disciple receives and blessed by the teacher that he is now ready to teach, then he goes out to share knowledge. So the Shishya becomes the Guru, the disciple becomes the Guru. Now he has his own disciples who will eventually become Guru of their disciple, who will become Guru of their disciple, who will become Guru of their disciple. And this is called the lineage of Guru-disciple lineage. This is a lineage of Guru-disciple in which knowledge is handed over from one generation to the next. And this knowledge has been coming down to us from the beginning. Thus, the one who started it all is Lord Himself, and hence we believe this knowledge will never ever go into the burial ground. Maybe instead of in the golden era, maybe the entire society had the knowledge, who knows? Maybe in our times, there may be 1% of the population who may have this knowledge, who knows? But that 1% will be enough to pass this knowledge on to the next generation. So there has never been a time when this knowledge, the tradition or this lineage got cut. How do you know? How can you be so confident that it never got cut? Very simple. Because you and I are sitting here studying, is it not? If it had gotten cut, we would be talking about it as some kind of an archaeological fact, or talk to each other like historians, have debates. When did this knowledge end in history? We will talk, our whole discussion will be different. So this is a living tradition. Receiving self-knowledge from a teacher, a guru, is a living tradition. It is not something that we talk about as a golden history of this civilization. It is not something that happened thousands of years ago and you want to know an ancient culture, and so go to the library and you can draw all information like the ancient Greek culture, the ancient Egyptian culture. No, not at all. The Guru Shishya Parampara, the Guru tradition, is a living tradition. And that's because it has been protected. Protected not by archiving in the digital space in the cloud. It has been protected by listening and retaining. By listening to the medium of knowledge, how it came is through words. And therefore we call it the medium of knowledge is called Pramanam. And the Pramanam, the means is words. Shabda Pramanam. Shabda means word. This knowledge, this revelation of self-knowledge has been given to us in the form of words. And this is the living tradition. Those words we call as Veda. And in the Veda, there is a portion called Vedanta, the end of the Veda. And in that portion comes this amazing revelation called self-knowledge. And so, Lord as Shiva, He is the one who is the Adi Guru. He is the one who is the initiator of this knowledge, of this tradition. And therefore, when we learn Vedanta, there is a beautiful little verse we recite. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande means my salutation. My salutation to this parampara. Parampara is a tradition. My salutation to this tradition of gurus. Vande Guru Paramparam. What tradition is this? What is this Guru tradition? Sada Shiva Samarambham. Arambha is beginning. Samarambha is the perfect beginning. This tradition had a perfect beginning. It started with Lord Shiva himself. So Sada Shiva refers to Lord Shiva himself. And then it came down, and then what? Did it disappear? Like when you ask somebody, to give you some, some gift has come, right? Some gift has come during Christmas. And now it has reached the post office. And from the post office, it is going to come to you. So by the time it reaches your doorstep, 3 things are missing already. How is it missing? Because the postmaster was somebody who needed what you were going to get. The delivery boy needed something you were going to get. And therefore, by the time it comes to you, your gift is half taken away. So Lord Shiva started beautifully, but over the thousands of years, literally thousands of years, how was it handed down? Imagine if every guru who came into the tradition kept back a little bit, little bit. Like whenever I go to people's homes, and then sometimes there is some dish which is so good. And then you tell, hey, you give me the recipe for this, okay? This is so tasty. And say, of course, sure. And they give you the perfect measurements, everything they give you, and you say, great, I'm going to make this now. And you come to your kitchen and you want to show off to your family members a new item, and you make that item. You think you will be able to duplicate? Can you reproduce? Not that you are not a good cook, you are a super cook. But the problem is that special ingredient, there is always a secret ingredient of a good cook. She's not going to just give away her secret ingredient. And so you have every taste in the world is there except that special taste that she had brought about. Yeah? Imagine if every guru in the tradition kept back a little bit. what will you get? In our generation, especially in this corona times, what will we get if every guru in the previous generation held back 1%, 5%, 2%? And therefore, it is very important to which guru you go to. It's very important that there are today gurus are dime a dozen in our world. We're starting from Google Guru. You can turn any guru, switch them on, switch them off, as and when you want. You can be cooking food and listening to a lecture. You can be driving. You can be doing whatever you want. Well, not anybody can become a guru. Because there is a very big qualification of a guru. You can teach a text. You can have grammar. You can read all and understand what is there because you have a language, if you know Sanskritam. That does not make a person a guru. Guru is somebody who has lived their life in actualizing the teachings, in making that the teachings real for themselves, making sure that their own life reflects what they talk. Your thought system, the words spoken, the language, the activities, everything needs to just present itself. And so unless a person has that quality, that's something where the teaching, you look at that soul and you know that teaching is with this person. There are people like that. And there are others from whom you can get all technicalities of learning, but you miss the boat. And so here, this great tradition talks about an outstanding teacher, an outstanding visionary, an outstanding soul who is Adi Shankaracharya. We don't even know when he lived. Some say 1000 years ago, some say 1500 years ago, some say 8th century. But this young soul, this monk, sannyasi, he attained samadhi at a very early age when he was 32. But during his life, he left behind such a phenomenal literary heritage for Vedanta, students of Vedanta. Unparalleled literary heritage was left behind by him at such a young age. Apart from traveling from Kerala, his birthplace, right to the top of the Himalayas, 4,000 meters above sea level, to Badrinath and so on, those countries, traversed east to west, north to south, the whole country. And this amazing soul is given the honors after Lord Shiva. And so this little prayer, Sada Shiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam. It is this Adi Shankaracharya, to him also my salutation for giving us this wonderful tradition that gives you the teaching of oneness. Religions give you teachings of God, right? But along with that, they create many, many wars. They don't give you teachings of oneness. They don't have a culture that can boast of oneness. Here is a culture, here is a civilization that boasts of that sanctity of oneness as the divine manifestation in this world. And this tradition that hands over this knowledge generation to generation, as I said, in the middle is Adi Shankaracharya, and then Asmadacharya Paryantam, up to my teacher, my Guru. Because the one who came in between himself is 1,000+ years ago. And now I have come. What's the point in glorifying somebody if I'm not going to benefit? Here I am with my teacher. And I am to benefit this great, great traditional teachings and to the entire, therefore, beginning from my teacher up to the divine, or you can say beginning from the divine up to my teacher, which ensures the unbroken link, the guru-disciple link of this tradition, a unique link protected by this civilization. Many cultures have talked about oneness. There have been saints in every civilization. But a teaching that has remained protected in a culture where today we can talk about it, we can share this knowledge, we can offer this to humanity beyond the race, beyond the gender, beyond the color, beyond nationality, beyond, no matter where you are from, it does not matter. This is our birthright to get this self-knowledge, because it has come from Lord Shiva, come from the omniscient being for his human beings. I am human and I have every right over this knowledge. You have every right over this knowledge as much as I do. Neither I have the authority to hide it from you, nor you are somebody who anybody can question when you try to claim Vedanta is for all of us. It is for humanity at large. And we salute, we offer our gratitude to this great tradition that has protected the integrity, of such a powerful revelation. We must be grateful to this tradition and to all the gurus belonging to the tradition who have lived up to their position, who have lived up to the role, who have given their all to the tradition. We use this moment to offer our gratitude before we enter into the text. Okay? And therefore we say, it is not only we seek Ishvara Kripa by reciting the Sri-daksinamurti-Srotram, we not only seek grace, Kripa means grace, we not only seek grace of the divine by offering, by this prayer, we seek grace of the Guru. The Guru tradition, because it is all words. Let me learn the words, let me understand. Yes, we have made English a universal global language, all right. But still, the words, the language in which the revelation was given, the classical Sanskritam, we put in our effort to learn, because this can be and learning in the language that it has been given. And therefore we say Sanskritam is also a global language. It is also a language because it's phonetic. It's a phonetic language. You know what that means? Phonetic means anybody, as long as you have a human voice, From the human vocal apparatus, you produce sounds. And these sounds gain meaning. That language, which is phonetic in nature, is universal. It has a universal appeal. It has a universality about it, universal value. And so here, the second gratitude we show, seeking, praying to the Lord, not only as Ishvara, divine being, but also as Guru. And the third point here that I want to make is that while this Dakshinamurti-Srotram is a praise to the Lord, it also reveals the knowledge of oneness. It is a Vedantic knowledge, the knowledge given in the Upanishads, the knowledge that is boasted of in the Bhagavad Gita. If you don't have time to study all that, then just hang on for 10 verses to be completed. These 10 verses of Dakshinamurti-Srotram attributed to Adi Shankaracharya, the great saint, well, these 10 verses are complete in themselves. They can become your daily prayer, or they can become your daily reminder of your own essential self. And therefore, it is important to understand that in this tradition, when we study Vedanta, we call this Prasthanatrayam. I will also give you this word, Prasthana. These are all classical learning process. Prasthanatrayam. 3 forms of study that we do. One is the study of the very Upanishads, the revelations that Lord Shiva gave, the divine being gave, omniscient being gave. He gave to rishis, I said, sages, who were his disciples. We will look into the details later. And so when the divine reveals knowledge to somebody, that knowledge is called revelation. It's called revelation. When it is revealed, not when it is figured out. Scientists figure out. They invent, they figure out, they research. But this is something given, revelation. And so this revelation-based learning of the revelations called Upanishad learning becomes the first series of learning that we do in the tradition. The second is the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, even though revealed by Lord Krishna, again it's a revelation. It is authored in a work called Mahabharata. The Gita is authored in a work called Mahabharata by a sage called Vyasa. Like Shankaracharya, we have an amazing sage named Vyasa. And so that is the second important work that we learn to know the self-knowledge, what it is. The first one we call it Shruti Prasthanam, connected to the Veda. The second we call Smriti Prasthanam, connected to the Bhagavad Gita. And the third we call Nyaya Prasthanam. This third one has a name. I will give you all this in the book, don't worry. The third is called Nyaya Prasthanam, which is basically Brahma Sutras, the sutra literature of sage Vyasa. Another mastermind, another rishi who gave us the meanings. It is an amazing work with 555 sutras on Brahman, on the divine, presented in a logical way. If you think you are a good logician, write the Brahma Sutra, study that text, then you know what is logic of a great sage. How he proves again and again that there is nothing else in this world except oneness. If there is a truth, that truth is only oneness. And he shows it to you in those sutras, this great sage Vyasa. So this kind of learning is called Prasthana Trayam. I'm going to close now. It's called Prasthana Trayam. What we are going to study in Dakshinamurti-Srotram is none of these. Is none of this. Then Ammaji, why are you telling us all this? Why should I not tell you? You have every right to know. Why should I hide from you? Why should I keep it to myself? You must know. Whether you like it or not, you must know. And therefore, this is a classical learning process. And all this has been simplified in a kind of work called Prakarana. Prakarana. Prakarana Grantha they are called. Prakarana Grantha means different expressions of that oneness, highlighting certain aspects of oneness. There are some literature in Vedanta which highlights certain aspects and the oneness is revealed. Those texts are called Prakaranas and there are hundreds of thousands of them. And Dakshinamurti-Srotram is one such text of Adi Shankaracharya, in which Lord Shiva is our Guru and he reveals the knowledge of oneness. Okay? And so we are going to be seeing a Prakarana Grantha. As you notice, we are moving into really the teaching with the essence. So far I have taught you prayers. They're all beautiful. To invoke the devotee in you, to invoke devotion, to invoke prayer, to get insights into the vastness of what it is all about. But today we enter into the actual traditional teachings, okay? And so it's really, that's why I felt we must have an altar, we must invite the goddess in this lamp that we have lit, an oil lamp, and be prayerful while these teachings are being offered, okay? I will close here for now, and next week, next session, we will pick it up. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.